Are you looking for ways to ask your clients, friends, and family for a real estate referral without asking who do you know who's going to buy or sell real estate in the next 60 to 90 days? I have 4 that I'm going to share with you, and they are totally not salesy and very conversational. If we're just meeting for the first time, my name's Alicia, and if you're all about growing your business, learning about real estate tips, and having an amazing net life while you're doing it, make sure you hit the subscribe button and we'll get started. By the end of this video, you're going to have 4 easy ways to ask for referrals that I've used in my 100% referral business. The first one you're going to do at your initial meeting with your buyer or seller, the very first time you meet them, you're going to lay this up for them and tell them, I'm so excited for you, and you are going to notice so many people who are buying and selling houses now because you're in the thick of it. And the reason this happens is that your brain, when you buy a car for the first time and you've never noticed that model or that color before, and then all of a sudden you recognize all of those colors and cars, everyone has the same car as you, that's exactly why you're going to notice all of these buyers and sellers now. So if you come across one, will you do me a favor and introduce us on Facebook? Will you introduce us an email? Whatever it is that's your style of referring business, you want to let them know because everybody has a different way. But you want to teach them up front, hey, you're gonna see people who are buying and selling, and then what to do when that happens because they don't know. They're focused on buying and selling. So you kind of have to tell them in the nicest way, the sweetest way, possible, and they may just say, well, that's how we found about you. We were talking to so-and-so about it, and they said, oh my gosh, you have to call Alicia. So that's what they did. Make sure you give them some business cards too. Like, how simple is that? Number 2 is going to involve you getting very specific with questions that you're asking instead of just who do you know who's going to buy or sell. If you have a buyer and they're looking in a specific subdivision in a price range, you want to ask your database, and you can even do this on social media, but you can also call around the neighborhood. If you know someone or if you know a group of people who live within like a 5 or 10 mile radius, you can call and say, hey, I have a buyer who's been looking in X subdivision in this price range, and the inventory is very tight. Do you know anyone who is thinking of selling who maybe isn't on the market yet? What that's going to do is not only say, yep, here I am, your realtor, chatting with you again in a conversational way. It's going to get their juices flowing. And they might not know anyone moving out of that neighborhood. They might not have a single lead for you for that buyer, but they might. And what it's going to do is get them thinking about you and clients and possible people that they might know in the back of their mind. Let me know below where you're watching from, because it's pretty likely that the agents watching this are people who believe in referrals, and you never know when we might have an opportunity to refer each other. Number 3 is really fun. It's invite them to something. Invite them to an event. Invite them to a coffee. Or you could have something like Michael J. Mayer, you may know him, has this thing called Love You a Latte, and it's a coffee event where you go and you invite people for 2 hours or an hour to have coffee with you. They can come anytime. Doesn't matter if people come or not. It's that you invited them and you started the conversation. And what it also does is it kicks in the law of reciprocity, which is when you give, it's human nature for them to want to give back. And they might not have anybody at that time, but it'll kick that in for them, wanting to give back to you and thinking about you with real estate. And you're just doing something really nice for the people who support you. And we all know that referrals come from conversations. If you have enough conversations, you will get a referral. So if you do the nice thing of inviting someone to an event you're having, no matter how small it is, it does not have to be expensive, you will get a referral simply through the number of conversations that you're having. Isn't that a lot easier than asking them for a referral? Is that you're giving to them and then human nature is to give back? It's so much easier. This one is so simple, it's pretty ridiculous. So you can do this on social media or you could do it in real life, but you want to involve your friends, family, and clients with what you're doing. So you're going to ask them, hey, I'm doing a client appreciation, or I'm planning a client appreciation thing. And you can be an event or it could be a gift, and give them a poll. Say, here are my 3 options. Do you have any ideas? What would you like best? Does a couple things. It involves them and buys them in, gets their buy-in to whatever you're planning, so they'll want to attend. You actually know that they like that stuff that you're thinking about. They might give you another idea. Plus, everyone in their network now sees that you are kind and you appreciate your clients and that you're at least successful enough to give back to your clients. So that's always a good thing. You've opened up to so many more people. And just the fact that you're involving them into that makes them, A, know you're a realtor again, right? Like, hey, keep me in top of mind. Everyone in their network knows that you're a realtor now. All good things can come from that. The kicker is, even if you don't ever have that event, just that you're thinking about it and you've put that in motion gets people thinking about you. You could have a totally different event, or it could not be at that time. Whatever it is, it's just about getting those conversations started. If you have a way of asking for referrals that's not traditional, let me know below. I'd love to keep that on my list and have it in my arsenal. If this was helpful in figuring out how to ask for referrals, please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe so I can know to make more videos along this line.